Thank you.
Thank you. Greetings from the Mount St. Helens Seven Wonders Creation Museum, where we tell the powerful lesson taught by the world's most famous volcano. I'm Lloyd Anderson, your host, and I call this powerful lesson from Mount St. Helens a Big Bang for creation because it shook the geologic world. Awesome is the way people around here describe that first eruption. It destroyed 234 square miles of forest. It produced the largest landslide in recorded history. It sprinkled ash around the world, and it sent a mud flow 68 miles to the Columbia River, trapping 21 ocean-going vessels upriver. Any one of these four events would have been headline news around the world. All of them happened on May 18, 1980, the day of the most violent volcanic eruption in the lower 48 states since sometime in the 1800s. As creationists pondered that first eruption and the many that followed, they said, wow, this is awesome for creation. That first eruption destroyed the area in minutes, but there were actually 7 explosive eruptions, and a month later, the third one deposited hundreds of layers in 3 hours. 2 years after the big eruption, a 7th explosive eruption created a river system in a day. And those floating logs on Spirit Lake going to the bottom in an upright position exposed bad science that had been on display here at Yellowstone National Park for decades. The 7 wonders are 7 different kinds of formations produced rapidly by the eruptions of the 80s. We call them wonders because they make us wonder at how quickly the Earth can change through high energy processes. Today, I'm going to be talking about devastation in minutes, layers in hours, a river system in a day, and the floating logs on Spirit Lake. These are probably the most 25 feet of layered deposit. That's a mud flow deposit. It's about 20 feet thick. So we got thin layers, thick layers, and at least 200 layers. It all happened on June 12, 1980, which is, the big eruption was May 18th, so that's about 3.5 weeks after the big eruption. This was the third explosive eruption. Imagine that, 1 layer a minute, just like that. The professional geologists were astonished. They did not know there was a process that could put down layers just lickety-split, one after another. In fact, here is the way that they had regarded a layered deposit. This one is called Tapeats sandstone of the Grand Canyon, a couple hundred feet thick on average, seen for over 200 miles. And the textbooks at the college level explain that Tapeats is the result of the gradual accumulation of sand at the bottom of the ocean over 30 million years. Gradual accumulation? We know what gradual accumulation looks like at Mount St. Helens. That's the top of the ash that fell like snow on the day of the big eruption. No drifting in it, no organization whatsoever. Tapeats is highly organized. It has the same kind of structure as this layered material in the middle of this cliff at Mount St. Helens. How do we explain Tapeats? The mountains, that's the continents. The continents rose, and the valleys, that's the ocean basins, they deepened. That's the way the Earth works. Scientists have only recently learned this, and the psalmist was not a scientist. He was simply writing under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit of God. And so God got it right because God, the Creator, He understands the processes in the earth, but secular scientists have only recently understood that ocean floor rock, primarily basaltic rock, has a greater specific gravity and therefore pushes down a little bit more on the mantle of the earth. Land rock, primarily granitic, is slightly less specific gravity and rises up. So the scientists say there is an isostasis, a balancing between the heavier rock and the lighter rock. That's the only reason we have dry land. God made it possible that we would be terrestrial creatures rather than marine creatures. We could have been made